This is way too honest, but I'm going to say it anyways.
Welcome to the Way Too Honest Podcast. My name is Tara.
And my name is Kristen.
And we're here to talk about really a lot of opinions that are low stakes, but we feel very strongly about them.
Very strongly.
Mm-hmm. And we're two bougie girls on a budget. And when I mean budget, I mean like red party cup budget. I can only speak for myself on that.
Red party cup. Do you remember when, who did that one song? Was it Toby Keith? Red Solo Cup?
Oh, do not ask me about country music.
Did you ever hear the song though?
No.
Oh my God. Okay. He made this whole song. Somebody made this whole song called Red Solo Cup. And it was literally all about the red party cup.
Because it's an iconic part of like growing up in America. Do they have the Red Solo Cup in other countries? Or if they do, was it as big a part of like growing up and like it being in the background of every like traumatic memory growing up?
It was
in other
Toby
countries.
Keith.
Does it define everyone else's growing up stage?
It was Toby Keith. Pop off. Before we get started, though, I think we should probably introduce ourselves just a little bit because we're two nobodies who happen to find each other. And to be honest with you, I think we have great conversation.
I love us. I think we're fantastic.
Which is why we decided to create a podcast. And our podcast is called Way Too Honest because I think we're a little too honest for the general public face to face because we work together and people sometimes look at us a little strange.
Yeah, I'm definitely too much for some people. But just the right amount for you.
Yes. And so we decided to broadcast ourselves straight to you. So my name is Kristen. I live here in Southern California. I am a proud dog mom. That is my one true personality trait. I love expensive things. I love pop culture. And I love making jokes about myself.
I love that.
I think that's just very real and very honest.
Yeah. My name's Tara. I'm also from Southern California and I live here. Well, I shouldn't say also from Southern California because I am from Southern California and I live here. But I'm 37 and I am not a proud dog mom, but I'm a proud cat mom. If there are any ice hockey fans listening, I have a cat named Corey Purry after Corey Perry, who I love. I know there are strong opinions about Corey Perry, but I love Corey Perry. If you're into ice hockey, my cat is Corey Purry and I adore him. And I really don't have much else to me. I'm very honest about things because, and this is a true story. When I was a teenager, I had a really mortifying moment when I was caught in a lie. And I told myself like the worst feeling in the world, I've ever experienced up until this point in my life is being embarrassed.
Yeah.
And literally, I don't think there's anything I've gone through in my life that someone hasn't experienced themselves or that isn't going through themselves or can relate to. So what is the point about lying about any of it? And it always makes people feel better. And there's just no point in covering up or not being honest. I don't mean like being like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. What the fuck are you wearing? Not that kind of honest.
Could you imagine?
I'm thinking it, but like, I don't have to tell you. But like talking about like your own stories or your opinions on things, if it comes up, like why sugarcoat it? Yeah. So I've always kind of been that person since I had just a really mortifying experience in high school. And I would love to tell you it, but I honestly don't even remember what it was. I just remember being like, wow, that was avoidable. Yeah. I walked myself right into that. Yeah. And I don't want that to ever happen again. So I love honesty, especially about low stakes things.
Oh my gosh.
Like I said before, it's community building. I love that.
Absolutely. So we compiled a list of 10, like not even 10, maybe we have 10 together. I have a lot more things to talk about.
But here's the thing. I also have a ton of things because things annoy the shit out of me all the time. It's like I'm perpetually there. But when you ask me to list them, I'll be like, well, fuck,
now I forgot, right?
Anything.
So we came up with a list of things that are so obscure, but they absolutely drive us fucking nuts.
Oh, absolutely fucking nuts.
Because I feel like there's no better way to get to know a person than to know what truly drives them crazy.
Absolutely.
So would you like to go first?
Yeah. I've been like, this is my moment. You haven't, this is the moment I've been waiting for. Same side booth sitters. Why? Like, why? I mean, I get you're a couple. I'm not talking like if you're out like on a double date and like
Right.
couples are sitting on each side. I'm talking like you're on a date. There's just two of you. Oh my God, especially if you're on a first date. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah.
But like, and you're at a booth and you literally choose to sit on the same side.
Yeah.
First of all, it's just like aesthetically unbalanced and that like just bugs me to my core.
It's ugly. Yeah.
Yeah. And secondly, how do you talk to that person?
Yeah.
Like how, like if I'm going out in a group with people, you will know who I dislike the most in the group because I will sit my ass right next to them because I don't want to talk to you.
Fair.
I do not want to talk to you. And I have a really good reason not to because I have to crane my whole fucking body and my neck to even like include you in my conversation.
Fair.
So on a date, it seems like logical to me, and I think it's rude. Other people don't see it as rude, obviously. They see physical closeness. Obviously, they're prioritizing the physical closeness, which is why they're doing it. I see that, and I'm just like, you guys are psychos. Like,
But also, too, realistically, number one, if you're going to sit next to each other, what the fuck is the point of the booth? The booth is the most comfortable spot to be in. You should be in chairs.
also, stay your ass at home. Sit on the fucking couch.
Yeah. But then also, how do you eat your food? Like, I don't understand. You're going to be competing for elbow room.
I love watching people who do this, and then you realize who's a lefty and who's a righty, and they didn't think it through. And they're like bumping elbows, and I'm like, all of this because you just wanted physical proximity that you have all the time anyway, most likely. Just to be like, and part of me, sometimes you feel like people are being smug.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry if you do this, but I'm sorry, but you come off kind of like a smug couple when you're sitting on the same side.
You're an asshole.
You're just an asshole. Exactly. You're just saying we're assholes and you're ruining my dinner because I have to look at you, and the whole time I'm literally wanting to go up to you and be like, explain this to me. Like, walk me through the thought process of why you're sitting like this, because it makes no sense, and I can't make it make sense. This has been like my biggest pet peeve forever. It's completely low stakes. It does not affect my life, but it drives me fucking crazy.
That's fair. I would say my top one would be the gaps in the bathroom stall. And like, you say they're low stakes, but to me, they're fucking high stakes. They take up so much space in my brain.
That's so true.
Because, oh my God, we work together, like I said, and there's a stall that when you go in, the gap is so fucking big.
Why even have the door?
Literally, just fucking leave it open. But the gap is so big, people literally will drape toilet paper over the fucking yes, over the gap because it's so fucking big. Why is it there? Because when I go to like a little bit of a nicer restaurant and they have nice bathroom doors that close, oh my God, I am so more likely
the ones that are floor to ceiling and like you close it just like a bedroom door and it's like you have a suite in there and they have a fucking shelf for your cell phone.
Yeah.
And they have
bag. Oh. Yep. Like, I don't understand. What the fuck is the purpose of having the fucking gap? Close the damn gap.
Yeah, this isn't a locker room in high school where everyone is just super chill with changing in front of each other.
Well, also half the time I wear a romper. So I have to get all the way fucking naked to pee. And half the time, I'm sorry, I'm a free boobin sort of gal sometimes.
I love that.
So then my boobs are just kind of hanging out. And if you walk by, you're gonna get a show.
I know.
I gotta charge for that.
Also, if there's like a line for like people start forming the line, the more people come, the farther into the bathroom they move.
Yes.
Which means the more like visible like they are to other stalls.
They're just standing.
And then you have like an audience of 5 different people you've never met in your life watching you like watching you piss.
Yeah. It's disgusting. It's foul. I hate it. It's gotta go. It's gotta go. I don't care how much it costs. Like, raise my taxes to get rid of them. I don't fucking want them.
But can we realistically talk about how much this would cost? It is literally
Pennies.
A handyman and a door hinge.
Pennies.
And probably a new door because it has to be a little bit longer. But
it's worth it. I'm sorry.
I will pay for it myself.
Hey, Rye.
Yeah.
When you go into the men's stall, do they have gaps too?
Yeah.
You cannot compare men. Men piss with their shoulders touching.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like,
I'm 100% with you.
oh.
I think it's ridiculous.
Sorry.
And that's why when you go to a nice restaurant and like I said, it's like you could live in there. You could move into there.
Yes.
It's nice.
the hand washing situation is nice.
Mm-hmm.
You shut the door, it locks nicely. Oh.
And just on a personal note for me, I have Crohn's disease. So my entire, not entire, I'd say 99% of it is dictated by where the nearest bathroom is, bathroom access, like the privacy of that restroom, etc. So I know like pretty much every bathroom at every restaurant, stop, gas station from here to fucking San Diego. Because that's just self-preservation.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of opinions about bathrooms. And this is the first one that's going to come up. But oh my God, do I have opinions about bathrooms? So when I find a good one, it's just like, and don't even, if there's sound insulation. Oh my God. That 10 stars. Can you do 10 stars on Yelp?
Sure.
I will give them 5 stars, then write in the review, this should be 10 stars on the bathroom alone.
Oh, beautiful. I love that for you.
Just for like, thank you for giving a shit about your customers.
An actual shit.
Yeah, an actual shit. Thank you for letting me have an actual shit where I'm not anxious about who's going to see me taking it or who's going to hear me taking it.
Yeah, like absolute privacy.
Have you seen that movie, The Big Sick, with Camille Nanjiani?
No.
God, I hope I'm saying his name right. And it's like autobiographical about how he met his wife.
Cute.
Long story short, when they first started dating, she got really sick and they didn't know what it was. And she was in the ICU, like,
oh my God.
Don't hold me to this, but I think in a coma. She was like very, very sick for a while in the hospital. Obviously they're still married and she's much better. And they're a very cute couple in real life. But in the movie, the first time she spends the night, she literally gets dressed to go to like the corner like store because she didn't want to shit in his apartment.
Sweet.
And I was like, this is the most relatable thing I've ever fucking seen. Ever seen. And he was just like, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. And she was like adamant, like, no, I'm gonna go to the store. I'm not going to take a shit anywhere near you. And I'm like, I relate to this so much.
I love that.
You would think that like having to deal with this my whole life, I would get used to it. And I have, but there are some things that I'm just like, first night at someone's house, I would also like be like, actually, I did do this because when I was 20 years old on my first international trip, like traveling anywhere, I went to Rome with the guy I had the biggest crush on in the world at the time. Like I was like, oh my God, in love with him. And we were like best friends. It did not work out. If you're listening, congrats on your baby, by the way.
It sounds like it's going real well for you.
Yeah, happy things worked out for you. But went to Rome. And we shared a room. And of course, I was just like had high hopes for this or whatever. And it ended up being like totally awful. And we fought the whole time. But I couldn't, I would not let myself like take a shit in the room. I would go down to the lobby in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom. And then I would try and time it, which sometimes you don't always get that choice when he was in the shower or using the bathroom himself. So I could be like, well, you were in the bathroom. Like, where else was I supposed to go?
Yeah.
Instead of being like, I just fully didn't want to have any bodily functions whatsoever in front of me. If I could have done my makeup in the bathroom, I would have done that too. I wanted to do the whole thing where like you wake up and you've already brushed your teeth and put on your mascara and you're just like an ethereal being like, and you're just the sunlight is shining through the windows and there's, Rome and bells are ringing and I'm just laying there like fucking Aurora, and that did not happen. Also, can I say something else really embarrassing that happened on that trip? My mom was fully aware of my crush. I was 20 and this guy was hot as shit. I'm pretty sure he still is. And my mom rooted for this relationship so bad. I think she just wanted like me to procreate with him and like have the genetics in the family. But when we got there, she sent us like Avion water bottles to be like, have fun, guys. And I'm just like, why are you inserting yourself into my trip right now? This is my moment, Mom.
Yeah.
And
nothing says bring on the sex like your mom sending you a gift to the hotel.
But I could just see her in the background of my mind with like the two little like dolls, like she's like, now kiss, like forcing them together. Oh God, that trip was just so embarrassing on so many levels.
But also, to be fair, as somebody who's been in a relationship for like 9-10 years now at this point, I still do not want Ryan to ever even think about me ever having a bodily function.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Like,
if you got a choice, which we don't, unfortunately, unless you want to put in so much effort, and who wants to do that? I would always want to be seen as like this ethereal goddess who just exists around you. And I don't need to shave and I don't need to take a shit and I don't need to have a colonoscopy every year because I do. True story. I don't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you live with someone, if you have a life with someone, you're going to be a human being. I will stand by this though. The secret to happy marriages. One of the secrets. I'm sure people have made it work, but having 2 separate toilets.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that's the dream.
Half the time I don't let Ryan use like our upstairs bathroom.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah, his is down here, which before you came over, I cleaned or had to kind of clean.
Oh, that was nice of you.
Yeah.
I like I said, I'm as long as it works, that's all I need.
Yeah. I was like,
That's still nice of you, but
I mean, like mine is messy, but like this one was messy because he makes his coffee or whatever. And I was like, oh no, absolutely not.
I'm gonna go a little further here, and I have a bit of a controversial opinion.
Oh dear.
I think every couple, okay, if this doesn't work for you, then no. But in my dream relationship, there are 2 master bedrooms or 2 primary bedrooms,
Okay.
different bathrooms.
Absolutely.
But like, I need my own space. Like if I'm in a dream scenario, if I'm living with someone I'm in a relationship with, I want my own bedroom. I want my own space. I want my own bathroom. And I know I'm describing a roommate situation. I know I am. I'm not crazy.
But you also want to wake up tomorrow married 5 years. So
that is true. That is true. I don't want to date. I just want to wake up and I want to be 5 years into a relationship.
Yeah.
Out of the honeymoon stage, everything, and just be like comfortable and happy and like know where my life is going.
Yeah.
And like maybe even be a little bit out of love with you at this point. Like that's fine. I just want to be comfortable and cool. But I also just very much want my own space with my own stuff. And it's not like we can't like, there's probably one of the bedrooms would be the primary bedroom like we would sleep in.
right.
But here's the big thing. I'm sorry, especially post-COVID. If you have a cough, get the fuck out of my bed. I need to sleep. If you have a runny nose, go to your room. I need to sleep. And the same goes for you. Like if I'm tossing and turning because I do have insomnia, you shouldn't have to sit with that.
Put up with that?
Yeah, like I
That's
should
fair.
get myself out of the equation because you have a life. You need to sleep. Like
That's fair. That's very kind of you.
I think I am a considerate person.
Yeah. Poor Ryan. Not a fucking chance. Like if I tell Ryan all the time, if I could be inside of his skin, that would be about as close enough as I would want to be.
That's actually really sweet.
Yeah. I don't get sick of him. The only time I get sick of him is when he doesn't want to watch what I want to watch on TV. That's the only time. Or when he's like just.
What about chores?
We don't talk about chores.
I knew that's always it. People, I've learned, especially since I got into this with someone last night, people view chores very differently.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it's a subject people don't ever sit around and be like, okay, so how, because it seems like you shouldn't have to have this conversation, but how do you view taking out the trash? Because like, let's get on the same page. So it's not like, you're not taking out the trash, so you don't give a shit about me. And instead, like, you don't ever look at the trash. You don't notice I'm the one always doing it.
Yeah.
Like, what is your philosophy on taking out the trash so I understand where you're coming from? Because, for example, I live with my mom right now. She's renovating her home.
Mm-hmm.
And she got really mad at me that I'm never the one taking out the trash. Like, she was, like, legitimately mad at me. And here's the thing. She's like, I'm always the one doing it. She goes to bed before I do, and she wakes up before I do. The trash is usually full at the end of the night, but I don't want to take the trash out at freaking 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk outside in my neighborhood where our cameras have seen like a strange man standing around before.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like scared for my life, but I just like, why don't I do it in the morning? Like
Yeah.
it's a very low stakes thing. And my mom said, well, why don't you just tie it off and put the trash by the door? And I'm like,
What if it leaks?
thank you. Thank you. Exactly. And that has happened to me. And also, the trash is still in the fucking house.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just leave it in the fucking trash can where the fucking trash is supposed to be?
Yeah.
If you're not going to take it out to the actual trash,
Yeah.
what does moving into the door fucking accomplish?
So with Ryan and I, we operate very differently. We are both individuals with like ADHD. And so if there is a task that one of us is like particularly overwhelmed by, we'll like ask each other to do it, you know, whether that's taking out the garbage, doing the dishes or whatever. But what I will say, the game changer for us really has been knowing what's worth it and what's not worth it, right? So my favorite thing to do, I love to shop. I have so much fucking clothes. It is disgusting. I have donated not even kidding you, 20 bags over, I don't know, the last 6 months.
It's not disgusting then. You're like literally, you're recycling it out. You're donating it.
But I still have, I'm sure, at least 10 more bags to go through and to donate whatever. But so that being said, we have a fuck ton of laundry, fuck ton of it. So what we decided to do is we now have a laundry service that comes every Tuesday, picks up whatever clothes we have, takes it, and they bring it back on Wednesday. And that has helped tremendously because I now am not weighed down by the laundry.
Yeah.
But also, like, sure, it's a little expensive, but like, there's no rift between us. So fucking pop off. And then, you know, I can vacuum and I can do, you know, obviously I do like a little bit of laundry. They don't do everything. But, you know, I can clean the bathrooms. We can do the dishes. I have time to like cook and do all that kind of stuff too.
I think you brought up a really good point. And I love that you mentioned this and that this is part of your life, that you make space for overwhelm.
Yeah.
I'm an Enneagram 5.
Okay.
Do you know anything about the Enneagram?
A little bit.
Okay.
But I once told somebody what I got and they made this. No.
Oh my God, what did you get?
I was pretty much dead a 3 and a 7. Like dead even 3 and a 7.
Who the fuck told you that like there's no way? Because I 100% in my mind categorize everyone silently by what I think their Enneagram is. And I 100% Ted, Kristen is a 3 or a fucking 7.
A friend of mine who I went to New York with made just the most bizarre face and was like, absolutely not. So, but I was pretty much dead even 3 and 7.
You are.
It was like 51. Like no,
I think you're more of a
23, 25%.
Like it's the whole like, you know, if your life depended on it, I'd probably say you were a 3 more than a 7.
Probably.
Just because 7s are so extroverted and they like being social, and you absolutely do, but you get overwhelmed really easily.
Yeah.
So, and I just feel like the qualities
I'm very
of a 3.
sensitive.
That's not bad. And not that you said that like it was bad, but I think everyone's sensitive to a degree. But do you mean like sensitive, like you're sensitive to things going on around you? Where you're okay. So like that's a different. Okay.
If somebody has like a funky attitude around me, that will come to me, and then I'm done.
That makes sense. Okay.
Does that make sense? So it's like, so with you, I'm not like, we have a very good back and forth, hence why we're doing this. And so we can rally and we can have a good time.
Yeah.
And when you leave, I'm not like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. We're like, I go out into some social situations and I'm there for 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm exhausted.
Done.
I gotta go.
By the way, you can always tell me if like
oh no, you're fine.
you need to take it down like about 500.
Oh no,
notches.
you're fine.
But as an Enneagram 5, being constantly afraid of overwhelm and like hoarding your energy resources, so lots of alone time, lots of planning out your day, your week, etc., so you know exactly like what functions and responsibilities you have to do and exactly how much energy you have to exert for each one to avoid overwhelm. And so if something goes off script, it's like, whoa, I did not know, I did not plan for this, I have no idea how I'm gonna fit this into my day, because you don't know if you have the energy to devote to it, and you're so fucking terrified of being overwhelmed by the world and seeming, then because you're overwhelmed, it's taking away like your mental acuity, everything that you could devote to the things you had planned so carefully out, that you're worried you're gonna look incompetent in what you do.
That's fair.
So to me,
I get that way with work.
Oh, I absolutely get that way with work. Work is the big one. So to me, when you said we like to like make space for overwhelm or like address it, I was like, I don't think, and I'm sure couples do, but I've never heard a couple or someone in a couple say this is what we do to address overwhelm in our relationship. And I'm just like, like my brain just opened and like a whole new world happened. And I was like, that is something that every relationship, friendship, whatever, should talk about.
Well, yeah.
Especially nowadays when we are constantly overwhelmed because we're constantly inundated with what shitty thing is happening in the world, every corner of it, all the time. And then we have to deal with shit at work, shit at home, shit with our families. It's just never ending.
Well, I also think too, we have gotten so far off track, but I'll just say this one last thing, then we'll get back on track. I feel like it's different because the way that like Ryan and I were raised by two very like neurotypical parents, right? We are two neurodivergent people. So like whatever worked for our parents was never going to work for us.
Yeah.
Right? So we have had to learn how to not only be comfortable with like not being the societal norm to everything that like we've learned, but also just anything in general, right?
Yeah.
Like, why do I feel this way? Why, you know, when I come home, can I just lose myself in something like Glee and be completely happy and not really care what time it is? But, you know, my parents had no problem doing this, going grocery shopping, taking me to dance class, doing this.
Same.
It's just because we're just wired differently. That's all.
It's true. I don't know if I'm neurodivergent, but I look at my mom, for example, and she's just like could do task after task after task, could equally like just get things done normally. And you grew up with that too. And so when you grow up, you're like, what's wrong with me with these absolutely normal adult things like I cannot seem to do?
Yeah.
For example, like I have insomnia. My mom, the second she decides to go to sleep, she's asleep.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
like,
me.
what the fuck is that like?
That's me, yeah.
What is that like?
It's beautiful.
I cannot be alone with my thoughts at all.
Oh, I don't
like,
think.
Oh,
I don't think at all.
I'm planning Final Destination 7 in my head if I'm alone with
no.
my thoughts for like more than 30 seconds.
I put on a low stakes, you know, YouTube video. It's probably like Trixie Mattel, you know, talking about her doll collection.
Wait,
and-
what is that show you told me about called? The best name for a show ever.
Yeah. And I pass the fuck out. I don't think about anything. It's just noise.
Oh, this is a great time to talk about ASMR
Great. Let's do it.
because I love ASMR.
Yeah.
And I think it's made fun of so much. And I'm like, it is so beneficial. And if you don't know what ASMR is, it stands for, oh shit, what does it stand for? Automatic Sensory Meridian Response. I think, hold on.
This is going to be one of those topics where you really got to carry the
I know,
conversation because
I know.
I am not an ASMR girly.
I love ASMR. Oh, now I just opened up an app. ASMR.
Oh, good boy.
ASMR meaning. Okay. That does not actually tell me what it stands for. Here it is. Autonomous. Okay,
Okay.
autonomous sensory meridian response. So this is the definition that came up on Google. It's a feeling of well-being combined with a tingling sensation in the scalp and down the back of the neck as experienced by some people in response to a specific gentle stimulus, often a particular sound. So the best way I can describe it is when you're getting personal attention, someone brushing your hair. Like if you're at the hair
I
salon.
love that.
Yeah, that feeling you get is ASMR.
Oh, okay.
So, and I was doing this before I knew ASMR was a thing. Like if I could not sleep, I would watch hair tutorials on YouTube and I would imagine that someone was doing it to me to try and kind of make myself sleepy.
Oh.
And then I discovered ASMR, but I didn't know what it was because I just kept seeing like weird videos of Penn Badgley like whispering into a microphone and like opening up a can of soda. And I'd be like, what the fuck is this? And then when I finally learned more about it and I saw there's all these different channels.
Yeah.
And I kind of learned what like triggers me, like tapping noises.
Mhm.
Oh, I love tapping noises. It does make me feel like very like sleepy and calm
There you
and
go.
whispering. Like you talk like this.
Oh, see, that drives me fucking nuts. I'm like, just fucking talk.
Oh, there's entire ASMR channels that drive me crazy because it's all people chewing food.
Oh, nope, no.
Have you seen that gif of that woman who's like chewing gum really dramatically and like typing like she doesn't care? It's a really funny gif, by the way. But that comes from an ASMR video that's a channel dedicated to eating food into a microphone.
This is not related. Oh, it's kind of related, but have you ever seen Trisha Paytas eat anything?
No, is it like a Khloe Kardashian with the nails thing?
No, she is just the most obnoxious eater in the entire world.
Like she's their mouth open, makes a lot of noise.
Just so when I first started watching her like years ago, she's a troll. So she had this, do you know who Freely the Banana Girl is?
I want to know so bad.
Okay. So years and years and years ago, it was Trisha and Freely had this big fucking issue because
The banana girl.
so
Okay.
she's like a hardcore vegan sort of gal. She would bully Trisha and Trisha would go back at her. But Trisha once made this video where she was going through KFC. she would get the bucket of chicken and she would just eat the skin.
Ew!
But when she eats, she goes, and like, she's the most obnoxious eater. Sorry, I just had to like.
So she makes like kind of sexual noises when she eats.
Yes, and it is
Or
just,
she punctuates everything. Like she'll take a bite and go, like it's a period at the end of a sentence.
Both. And like she would last or a couple of years ago during quarantine, she would get these like Korean like cheese corn dogs or whatever. And she would do these cheese pulls, and then she would just like get her fingers all in the cheese. It was just so gross.
That is an annoying eater. But there are some people that listen to ASMR and they're probably just like saying this, referencing the same videos, and you're like, that puts me to sleep. Like people are wildly different, but ASMR works for me. And in real life, this is so weird, but in real life, the time I've had ASMR triggered the most, psychic readings.
Really?
I don't know if it's the personal attention, which makes me feel like a narcissist, but like when someone's like, let me read your palm, and they're just like, there was one time I went to Main Place Mall and there was like all these psychics sitting there, and that's when you know it's
I love Main Place.
They have a new building they're building right now, and I'm just like, what the fuck is that? Like, don't expand it. I grew up going to that mall, so every time they change something, I'm like, no, leave it the way it was. But they had a bunch of psychics there, and I don't know why. I don't think there's psychic conventions, especially at Main Place Mall. But there was some guy, and I was just like, oh, $10? Yeah, I'll do it. Like, I don't put a lot of stock into those kind of situations with psychic readings, but I'm like, it's fun, whatever, $10. He had me hold this like white quartz crystal, and he was talking to me, and I don't remember what he told me, but basically he was like, I want you to take that crystal home tonight, and I want you to hold it when you sleep, but if you wake up and it's black, I need you to throw it away immediately. And I was like, holy shit. Which turns black. Like, like that's so cool. Of course, I'm sure it's bullshit. But as he was like talking to me about the fucking crystal I was holding, I literally almost fell asleep. I was so overcome with like warm, tingly, like loving sensations. And I guarantee you, it was not because this guy was like vibing them at me. It was like the personal attention of it or something. Yeah. And I don't know what it is, but now I watch like psychic ASMR, like role playing videos. Yeah. And they have role playing videos for all sorts of things. And some stuff is fucking wild. It is like, it's like you're a princess it's like a crossover.
You're damn fucking right, I'm a princess. Thank you so much.
But no, it's like you're like a medieval princess who has been kidnapped and dropped in the rainforest, and a CIA agent comes to save you. I mean, like they make no sense, and it's like role playing. And if you like start it, and it's all whispering because it's still ASMR. It's like some girl that's like dressed up with like camo and is like talking to you like you're in the 18th century or something. None of this makes sense. Yeah. And is like, hi, princess. Are you okay? And is like miming, like moving the hair out of your face. And I'm like, this is what does it for some people with ASMR? No. I mean, I thought the psychic thing for me was weird, but like you've been kidnapped, and like there's like Stockholm syndrome ASMR videos where like your kidnapper is nice to you. No, there's a whole like, it's almost like the dark web, but like the dark web for like ASMR, where I'm like, you guys are into some kinky fucking shit to go to sleep. Like
that's crazy.
The Stockholm syndrome ones were like a whole bag for me.
You've been down like a whole ass rabbit hole.
Well, it's kind of like you get immune to some things.
That's fair. That's fair.
You go into
you build your tolerance.
The more hardcore ASMR stuff, and then you get to some stuff, and you're just like, okay, I'm never gonna need that. I will literally just take another Benadryl. Thanks. Yeah. I do not need to pretend I've been kidnapped. So when we go back to obscure dislikes, yeah. Can I talk about I feel like this is all under the same umbrella, but movie theater shit. People do in the movie theaters.
Let's talk about it.
Which is funny because I don't even go to the movies anymore except for like very special occasions, like a movie where Chris Hemsworth is clearly getting his like clothes like blown off from like Russell Crowe's doing a snap or whatever. Yeah, that's a midnight show for me. But I usually do not. I don't go to the movies otherwise. And this is part of the reason. So theater talkers, and that's such a general thing, but the specific brand of people that come to theaters, and they're a specific age, boomers, who come and like it's Bob and Sue Smith, and they come and they sit like, I don't know, mid row, and the credits start, and Sue Smith is like, honey, it's starting. Honey, it's gonna start. Like full volume, full like just like they're at home on the couch. Yeah. intro happens. Okay, I think this is the main character, so you want to pay attention to him. And it's like, oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. And then, something happens in the theater and she has to check with your Bob. Hey, Bob, did you catch that? Because I think he's the father of the girl that was murdered. And it's like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. Like, I literally want to with my hands, strangle you from the back. I can't, stay the fuck at home. You can do this watching your reruns on the couch. Is reruns a thing anymore?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, you can do that on the couch, though.
Are you going to AMC when you go to your movie?
The one that's coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because we just went and saw Jurassic World or whatever, they literally have, and I don't know if it's just AMC or whatever, but they literally have a commercial that will play that talks about movie theater etiquette. And it's a whole bunch of boomers who are sitting in a row.
It's boomers? I love it.
And there's one empty seat, and then the guy who's basically teaching them how to behave or whatever. And someone goes, "Here, hand me your jacket." And he goes, "No, we do not need a coat wrangler." And I was like,
oh wait. This is the insurance commercial where the guy is teaching people not to be like their parents.
Yeah,
I love these
this one is just themed straight to just the movie theater, because then they stop outside of the movie theaters. Yeah.
And they're like, we don't need, and someone's like, we should all go now. And he's like, we don't need to check and see.
Yes.
Everyone's an adult. Everyone knows when they need to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
I love those commercials. And I love that we don't need a coat wrangler. I'm actually really surprised that in that commercial, there wasn't a person that was picking up a trait from their parents where it's like, give me your purse so I can act like someone's going to sit here.
Yeah.
Because that is such a boomer thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I grew up with my family doing that. And when I got older, I realized that's really rude to do. So stop doing that. But there's a whole sect of people who go to the movies. And even on opening night, they will do that. They will put the purse in the coat and make sure no one sits directly next to them. And I'm like, you realize you're at a movie theater, right? You're going to be next to people.
I mean, playing devil's advocate, I don't
God, you do
necessarily
this.
want to sit next to people.
But it's on an opening night situation.
I know, but I'm just like,
I mean, if you can
especially
avoid
if you
it,
go
yes.
to the reclining ones where you're kind of laying down. I don't want to be laying down next to somebody I don't know.
Well, here's the thing about those reclining. This is an evolution in movie theaters I fully approve of. I love not having to get to an opening night movie.
Yes.
3 hours early to make sure you get a good seat.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
I love that
everything is
reservation
assigned.
system.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And then you can decide whether or not to sit next to other people.
Yeah.
Oh.
The only thing is now I'm like, where the fuck do I put my popcorn? Because if I put it under my seat, you know how difficult it is to
Yeah.
and reach under and then pull, and then get it back up. And then if you unrecline your seat and you forget it's there.
Yeah.
Weird logistics I think about.
That's fair.
But overall, I really like that movie theater experience. But also people on their phones.
Yeah.
That's I know that's just a cliche thing, but do you know, it's actually not that common. So when it happens, I honestly want to stand up and be like, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, main character of the earth. There are supporting characters in this theater with you. People who take out their phone in the middle of a movie.
That's my mom. My mom was the worst person to go to the movies with, and I swear to God, she's gonna listen to this. She's gonna take so much offense to this.
Oh, I've already alienated my mom.
My mom will lean over and talk just like you're talking about. She has spoiled the movie for me 3 different fucking times because when I go to the movies, I am going to be entertained. I'm not thinking. I don't have a fucking clue what's gonna happen. I'm just like,
I'm gonna be an empty-headed, blissful.
That is me.
Yes.
That is me. I literally have not one brain cell that's actually functioning when I go to the movies. She spoils it for me 3 times. But then she'll be on Facebook or whatever. And she'll be like, did you see this? Oh, shut the fuck. And it's somebody's vacationing somewhere.
In the middle of the movie?
In the middle of the movie. Or she'll turn her brightness down and she'll be reading something on her phone. Reading her
mom
books.
for turning the brightness down at least.
But my God woman, no.
I mean, in general, no, yes.
But so even if your brightness is down, when you're watching a movie, and then my mom, she's, a little older, so her font is fucking humongous on her phone. Mm-hmm. So then obviously, as you're watching, you can't help but look at what she's doing. Knock that shit off.
Someone just took a billboard out.
Yeah. Knock that shit off. Oh my God. Ugh.
When my mom is convinced she's smarter than everyone else watching the movie. So she'll multiple times, especially if it's because everything's a twist now, right? So she'll lean over and go, okay, I know what's going on. And then she will like try and spoil it. And then, but the one thing that you don't ever want spoiled for you was when we literally were in the theater watching The Sixth Sense. And like, I want to say 20 minutes before the movie ended, she looked over at me and went, Bruce Willis is dead. And I was like, what? And she's like, just trust me. And like, he fucking was. And I was like, that twist would have been so much better if I'm the smartest person in the world, because I mean, she did get it. But like, did you have to share that?
Yeah.
Did you have to share that? So my mom figured out that Bruce Willis is dead before everyone else. And so I knew before everyone else. And it was spoiled. So thanks, Mom.
So my mom did something very similar when, have you seen all the Twilight movies?
Okay, I was a massive Twilighter, yes.
Okay, so is she. So, you know
Your
that,
mom?
Yes. Big Twihard. So, you know that scene in one of the later movies, I'm assuming everybody's seen it, but like when they have Carlisle's head.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody in the theater goes,
Yeah, because it didn't happen in the books.
It's fucking terrifying. And she goes, that's not real. And I was like,
well, I mean, yeah,
what?
It's a fake head. I mean, like, it's not.
It's not actually the actor's head, Mom, but I'm like, shut up. That's not the moment we're all living in right now, Patricia. Like, I need you to move it forward. Shut up.
She was fully like, there's no way this would ever be real.
No, that's not real. No. And I was like, it's real to me.
It's real to me. I'm an empty-headed, blissful person. Yeah. Stop trying to put thoughts into my head while I'm watching this.
Oh, God. So I feel you. I feel you on movie theater talkers. Let's see. What's next on my list? Because I have a whole ass list. Okay.
Mine is, I just want to say parents.
Oh,
I don't have kids.
Yeah.
And I'm the most judgmental person on the fucking planet.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to how you raise your kid.
Yeah, of course.
What you tell your kid.
Of course.
What you name your kid. I love me some bad baby names.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so obsessed with, I honestly think everyone's a bad parent.
Oh, yeah.
Like I will be like, I just judge it. And that's my favorite thing. So I'm going to say parents. And whatever specific situation, I'll just be like, oh my God, that bugs the shit out of me.
So, okay. I know that you're going to like, because we kind of like talked about this before.
Oh God.
But recycled air on airplanes. It has to fucking go. Because it doesn't make...
What is your alternate solution for it?
It doesn't fucking make sense. We're literally in the fucking air. Why is it recycled?
Because they have to pressurize the cabin.
I don't care.
Right? I'm not a flight engineer. I don't know.
Care. We are literally in the sky.
Okay, let me tell you this. Recycled air, I agree, is a terrible idea.
It smells.
It's how viruses are passed around in planes.
It feels weird.
Yes. Do you think they'd be doing it? No, you don't need to calm down.
He's like,
the dog is like, are we going to war? I got you, Mom. If they had another alternative, don't you think they would do it?
I don't care. You know what? We need to start breaking open oxygen tanks on them. Like, something has got to change. I cannot. Because, like, if you notice, and like,
it does have a smell, though. I'm with you.
It has a smell. And you know what? Airlines need to do fucking better because they hand out the nastiest smelling fucking snacks. Because they give you peanuts, which fucking reek. Or they give you...
Also... half of the planet is allergic to them. Why are we handing out peanuts?
But then they also give you...
in a silver tube in the sky.
Some, like, crunchy snack mix, which is like a trail mix, Chex mix sort of thing.
Like a pretzel thing.
But it comes with, like, a cheesy sort of component with, like, dust and shit. No,
it really is just like dust.
Keep giving it... You know what? I don't know who we flew, but we flew somebody who gave those Biscoff cookies. That was a great snack.
Oh, I think I've had those. I don't know what airline, but those were good.
Those were a great snack because they don't smell, and if they do, they smell pleasant.
So when I used to live in Hawaii, I obviously used to fly.
Fucking flex.
It was like 15 years ago. And yeah, it is a flex. It was amazing. And if you Google Lani Kai...
It's not like Hawaii was ugly 15 years ago.
Sure, this is true. But if you Google Lani Kai Beach, it is honestly the most beautiful freaking beach in the world. And I lived on it. And I don't know why I made any life decisions that took me out of that situation. But I did.
You really fucked up there.
I really fucked up. But I would fly obviously on Hawaiian Airlines all the time. And they had something I called the white sandwich that was always there when you were going from Hawaii to the mainland. The white sandwich was turkey, mayo, Swiss on a croissant.
Oh.
Pleasant. It was literally everything on it was fucking white. I'm
Yeah.
like, you guys couldn't put a goddamn garnish? It was
Not
so
a tomato inside.
yeah, not a tomato in sight, not a little parsley leaf ever. And it was like saran wrap too, and they would give it to you, and it honestly like looked so. Honestly, it was pretty tasty. I mean, all those ingredients together, it's not a bad tasting sandwich.
Yeah.
But it looked like no one. I love aesthetics. I
Yeah.
just do. You can give me a shitty product, but as long as I'm the one that just bought the Kim K skin stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm waiting for that to come. I'm not expecting any results from it.
I heard her exfoliator's bomb though.
Okay. How? It's a physical exfoliant.
I don't know. I just heard it's great.
It's going to make micro fissures in your skin. Physical exfoliants are like not good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm a licensed esthetician.
Are you really?
You didn't know that?
No!
I'm a licensed esthetician. I actually just got my license again in the mail. The state of
That makes so much fucking sense.
Why?
Because you were saying something about getting some sort of thing on your skin when we were talking about like Botox and all that stuff. And I was like, how the fuck do you know what these
Oh, yeah,
names are? I've literally never heard of anything
I'm a
other
licensed esthetician.
than fucking Botox and filler.
Okay, but in full disclosure, I have been out of practice I have an active license, but I don't fucking use it because we don't work at a med spa or anything like that. You know?
But I'm sure they make more money.
Probably. But the reason I don't do it anymore is because I broke my wrist in a car accident, and my wrist is fine, but it made it so I can't do stamina work with my hand. So that kind of out the door. But yeah, physical exfoliants are like when you have acid exfoliants, when you have enzyme exfoliants, these are all better options that will not create microfissures in your skin. Like if you have really sensitive skin, here I'm gonna
Skincare moments with Dr. Tara.
Yeah, skincare moment. But not a doctor, because so please don't sue me. And any esthetician listening is going to be like, thank you for like saying the most basic ass principle of like skincare and acting like you know what you're talking about. But when it comes to exfoliators, if you have really sensitive skin, enzyme exfoliators are where it's at. So that's where you're going to get like fruit acids, because enzymes just eat dead skin. They're not going to like penetrate into your skin. It's not going to give you like a peel. They're pretty gentle. They tingle a lot.
Okay.
So that's like your most gentle type. Physical exfoliants are like, and oh my God, if any of you listening are using this, throw this shit out immediately. That St. Ives thing? That shit that like ruled our teenagers, or mine anyway, because my teenage years were the early 2000s.
Right.
Some of the worst shit you can put on your face.
Really?
Oh, you have so many micro fissures in your face, which means like any kind of chemicals or anything is getting into that, and it's irritating your skin. It's making it drier. It's awful.
Oh.
Yeah, so you don't want to use any physical exfoliants. And you know what? When Kylie's skin came out and she had a physical exfoliant that honestly looked a lot like the St. Ives shit, people tore her apart. But she kept it. And then Kim came out with her skin line and she did the same exact shit. I don't get it. Acid exfoliants, that's where the money is.
Isn't that what The Ordinary does?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Ordinary is a brand that like takes all the fluff out of it, and they just do like the chemical compositions.
Okay.
Which is very cheap to do. And if you go to Reddit and with the skincare fanatics, a lot of them like make their own at home, because a lot of these formulas are not hard to do.
Okay.
And then they mark them up for like obviously skincare brands. And a lot of what skincare brands put in there are like vehicles. So like silicone or something that like keeps the product together or helps it spread on the skin. But her exfoliator might be good for some people. And honestly, sometimes when my skin is so dry and nothing is doing it, I'm just like, well, fuck, I'm just going to throw a physical exfoliator on, because it will get the job done.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's like the worst thing you can put on your face, but it's not ideal. And I feel like she could have done better with the exfoliator. Everything else looks, I mean, I told you I was curious.
Right.
The oil drops, especially the night oil in particular, was very fascinating to me, and it has amazing reviews.
So what did you pick up?
I picked up the night oil and the oil drops. I wish I could say I spread it out and like I picked two like different products that were like, oh, I picked up the face cream in this.
Right.
I literally just went for the oil products. And by the way, if you have oily skin, oil products are fine. Just, make sure your skin's hydrated. Drink more water.
Well, since we're talking about the Kardashians, do we want to get into your yesterday?
Yes. Oh, do you mean like what I had done?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so yesterday, which I had Botox done for the very first time.
I'm so jealous.
I'm so glad I finally did it. And honestly, I'm like years behind. I should have started this years ago. And I actually didn't get, I just say I got Botox, but I didn't get Botox. I got not talked into, but I got Dysport. And I just fucking love the results. I fucking love it. And I went in, the The nurse was named Amanda. She was really nice. I went in because I'm trying to find like a med spa type situation because there's a lot of things I want to accomplish. I'm like, okay, I'm 37. I'm committed to like actually doing like medical intervention now to try and like prevent like premature aging.
Yeah.
And what am I talking about? I'm trying to look younger. I'm not going to act like, oh, I'm just trying to prevent aging. I'm trying to look fucking bomb.
But also, we spend a hell of a lot of time like outside in the elements. So in the sun, in, you know, even when there's like clouds, there's like, you know, you can get sunburns or whatever. So it's like,
absolutely.
So it's not like you sit in an office all day and you're, you know, perfectly shaded.
We're outdoors, we're walking, we're getting sunburned. My arms it's bad. And there's not really a way to avoid it. You can reapply sunscreen and you can do your best, but I mean, if you're out in the sun, you're out in the sun.
Yeah.
So I kind of want a one-stop shop. There's a lot of things I want to do, but the number one thing I need to start doing is Botox because it's preventative too.
Yep.
And I don't have unreal expectations. I don't think I'm going to wake up with like no wrinkles on my face. Also, I didn't want it all over my face. So went in, very excited. Also, I'm very scared of needles. So I was trying not to think about that too much.
Right.
Also, they told me to come in at 4:15 to like get numbed. And I was like, oh yes, awesome. I wanted to think about it. No, there was no numbing. There was nothing. It wasn't even offered. I was just kind of like, I guess I'm just going to be a bad bitch and take the pain. And honestly, I'm glad I did because you guys, it's not bad. Okay. I am like a big old baby. I don't like needles. And this shit was not bad.
Okay.
So I went in. My big problem was my forehead lines and the 11s, like the frown lines in between the eyebrows.
Yeah.
And also, which I just found out, is that the orange peeled chin. I have a very expressive chin, so every time I make certain expressions, it's like I can't even make over faces to try and bring it out. But basically, like, you know, you have an expressive chin, it kind of wrinkles into like an orange peel look. So they can give you a shot or two of Botox there, and it will prevent that from happening.
Beautiful.
Nothing, as far as I know, nothing to do with aging. It's just like the appearance of your chin. I'm like, oh, great, I love that. So I was going to do that. But my birth control has decided that I'm going to be on my period all month long, which means I'm going to have cystic pimples just randomly throughout the month now. And so I have one like right on the crease where my chin is.
Of course.
So I'm just kind of like, okay, maybe today's not the best day to like get a shot of Botox there because like the shape of my chin and the way the skin is pulled is different because I have like a cystic stage 5 clinger on my chin. Yeah. That's going to mess it up. So, and it wasn't like the primary reason I was there. Anyway, she was amazing. There's a lot of things I wanted to do, and she had really great client expectations. Like, this is what you should do first.
Right.
And you will see results in like 2 weeks from like one session. Yeah. Because I told her what I wanted to look like, which was basically like, I don't want to be frozen. I don't want to be a mannequin. My example of like how I do not want to look like this was Nicole Kidman when she looked bad. Because I feel like the entire world knows exactly what that looks like. Yeah. And I was like, I do not want to look like Nicole Kidman when she had bad Botox. And she was like, okay, got it. And her face looked fantastic, the nurse. And I was like, it looks super smooth when you're like not making an expression. And when you do make an expression, you do have expression lines, but it doesn't look like there's like, it's from age. It just looks like how when a kid makes an expression. Everyone has expression lines. Yeah. And I'm like, that's what I want. And she was like, okay. So sat down, got it all done with. She gave me, this is so fun. And honestly, I really want this for my everyday life for like a multitude of reasons. She gave me what she called Mr. Buzz Buzz. I just want to say she gave me a vibrator. Like,
I love it.
But it wasn't shaped like a vibrator. It was shaped like a little octopus. And you put it on your chest and it literally like is like seriously vibrating. And she said they give it to you because it overwhelms your nervous system and it confuses your nervous system so you don't notice the pain of them sticking a fucking needle next to your eye.
That's so smart.
It really was. And I was kind of like, okay. And then I didn't use it for one.
For a second, I thought you were actually talking about a vibrator. And I was like, named Mr. Buzz Buzz?
There's someone out there who has one named that.
And then you said it was an octopus. And I was like, well, it's a little on the money, but okay.
I was kind of like, I'm sure you can make it work. I mean, it's not, if you saw this thing, you'd be like, yeah, I mean, in a pinch, it would work. Yeah, why not? But it was just like, this is really cool. I would love to be distracted like this. Like when I have cramps or when I have a migraine or anything. Actually, when I have a migraine, but anything, like it's just a really, it's like a fidget spinner almost. Yeah. Except there's like a, actual like objective here. Well, fidget spinners have an objective too. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this Mr. Buzz Buzz was really fun and really cool, and I loved it. Because when I get laser hair removal on my legs, it hurts like a bitch.
Yeah.
And you know what they give me? A squeezy ball.
I said,
Which
suck
is
it up, bitch.
It literally is like, here's a piece of wood to bite on. Like that's basically what it is. But this was like, we're going to talk you through it. This is going to overwhelm your nervous system.
Beautiful.
It's going to confuse your brain. I'm like, ooh, I love this. That was really cool, and it totally worked. The shots didn't work at all, and she knew exactly when one would hurt more than another, because right before she gave me a shot above my eyebrow, she was like, okay, little zip, and I got it, and I felt that little zing, and I was like, oh, yeah, and she was like, there's a nerve right there.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, but at least she gave me the heads up, and then she kind of stopped giving me the heads up, not because she just forgot to, but I think she wanted to make sure she was getting it where she should, because she would give me a shot somewhere, and I'd be like, ooh, felt that, and she'd be like, oh, good. Like, I think she was just like, that's exactly where I need to be then. So yeah, it was totally bearable.
I love that.
Like, I was just like, I could come back next. If I had to do this every week, I totally could.
Amazing.
And the whole thing was don't lay down for 4 hours. So of course, what did I do?
Lay down.
Yeah, I went home, sat in traffic for an hour because I'd had to drive my ass to Laguna Beach.
How far was that? An hour and a half?
It was an hour and a half back because of traffic, and it was 30 minutes there.
Oh,
until
amazing.
I hit Pacific Coast Highway, and then it was like 5 minutes to move 1 foot.
Yeah.
I love an excuse to go to Laguna Beach. Laguna Beach is beautiful, but it is like out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
And you have to drive through the canyon to get there and take the toll road. It's like, it is an exodus. But I want to go to I want to go to a good place.
Yeah.
And this place, I'm just gonna say it was great. It's a place called Laguna Aesthetics, and I thought I was very well taken care of.
Beautiful.
I loved the nurse. I loved the consult. I loved her touch. And so far I really like the results. She also told me, she said, oh, since it's your first time, you should know you're going to feel a little full, like in my forehead. Cause I only wanted to get like that area done. And I said, okay. And I'm like, okay, well, wait, are we talking like I'm going to fall forward? Like I'm gonna feel so off balance, like I have an anvil for a face and it's gonna pull my ass forward, or is it just gonna feel weird? And she's like, it's just gonna feel weird, so just make sure like you're not, And I was like, I love me some weird sensations. I'm totally fine with that, and I can feel it right now, like, and it's fine. It just kind of feels off, but I really like it. Like I said, I was making my like what can I do, and it's like.
Yeah.
It was so much worse before, and I just and in 2 weeks is when it should be like. That's the best it's going to look in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it's going to start kind of wearing off over time.
Right.
But here's this difference between Dysport and Botox. I'm pretty sure it's cheaper because I saw the price list before she came in. And Botox for them on their price list was $11 per unit.
Okay.
Dysport was $3 something.
Wow.
That's a huge difference.
That is a big difference.
Huge difference. And I did not ask for Dysport because of that. I was there to get Botox. When people say, I'm going to get neurotoxins pumped into my face.
Yeah.
It's Botox. So it came to market first. It was like 10 years before Dysport or anything that came second. And I was asking her like what the difference was, and they're very, very similar. And it was mostly that I said, okay, for what my goals are and what I want to do, what would you recommend? And as an esthetician, she's a nurse. It's totally different. She like went to school, not a 6-week program at a beauty college. And we don't like to give recommendations because it's aesthetics. So it's so personal.
Yeah.
And I said, but for me, she said, I would recommend Dysport. And I said, why? And she said, because people can sometimes have a allergic reaction to Botox. It can happen to Dysport too, but it's more common with Botox, even though it's still very rare. And she's like, but the only way to know if you're allergic is to be exposed to it, which means you have to get it to know if you're allergic. So Dysport is technically supposed to be cleaner.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then it ended up being super cheap. So I got my whole forehead all loaded up, got my 11s all loaded up, $225.
Oh, God, I fucking love that.
Like my Kim K products, the 2 I bought, they were like $95 each.
Yeah, they're pricey.
Yeah. And they're basically the same thing because they're both oil drops. I'm just kind of curious as to why they're different and how they can work for me. It was like almost the same thing as like
that's fucking
freaking
crazy.
Dysport. I was just like, beautiful. This is so affordable. Why was I not doing this literally 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And so far, I love the results. People that are close to me probably don't notice anything. Yeah. But I do.
Yeah. Because I don't notice a thing.
Great. That's exactly what this should.
Until you came here. This is when I frown.
Yeah. And then just specifically making like very expressive faces. And they'll ask you to do that too, to like know where to put it.
Right.
So you'll be laying there and they'll be like, okay, frown face. And I'm like, Now I feel like I have to really try to do it. And then they're like, okay, relax. And they'll know exactly where to put it based on like where your musculature
That's so
is.
nice.
It was a great experience. I'm like honestly super happy. And she said, don't like get in a sauna or anything tonight. And I was like, well, can I shower? She's like, yeah, you can shower. And I'm like,
What's the
okay,
difference?
but I'm like a boiling hot shower person. And she's like, okay, wait till tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I was like, just assume everyone takes boiling hot showers. And I do 30-minute showers. I don't do anything less. I never have been able to cut down my shower time.
Oh, I just take baths.
What did they call that on New Girl? A medieval filth cauldron?
I have never seen New Girl.
You've never seen New Girl?
No, I watched the first episode and I was like, I don't get it. No, thank you.
The best on-screen kiss I have ever seen in a TV show or a movie was on New Girl.
Really?
Yes, there's an episode called The Cooler, and it might not, if you just go straight to the episode on Netflix, I don't think it would mean as much because you don't know the relationship.
Yeah.
But there's no way you can watch it and not feel things. Because
Ooh.
it is like Jake Johnson, he's a
Is that the guy that plays Nick? Is that his name?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, right, Nick? No. Yes?
That's the only name I know from that show.
I don't even remember what the freaking character. I know Schmidt and Cece, and I forget what everyone else is called. Yes, Nick.
Cece's the model friend, right?
Yes. Cece is definitely an Enneagram 8, side note. But I Enneagram type everybody. And Nick, yeah, the guy that Zoe Deschanel is like kind of like on off with the whole episode, the series. And that kiss is every man, every woman should watch this because it is the best kiss I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me see. What? See, have you ever watched Gossip Girl?
I know this is like a huge thing for you, but no. I know a lot about it because I know the series finale was so shit. But
I mean, I've seen like Gossip Girl, I think 17 or 18 times through.
oh my God, I love it.
Chuck Bass could do the most unmentionable things to me.
He's so creepy.
He's so hot.
He's so creepy. And he has like these very forced, like squinty stares. And I'm like, why are you choosing to do this?
He's so hot.
Everything he does screams to me like this is like a conscious choice you're making. It doesn't seem sexy to me.
See, and like the actor who plays Ed Westwick is cute, like whatever, but like his character Chuck Bass, because I idolize Blair Waldorf. Like, I mean, when I think about people like idols that I have, they're all sort of like TV characters.
Yeah.
So Blair Waldorf, Hannah Montana, Sharpay Evans, Rachel fucking Berry from Glee.
There is definitely a theme.
There's definitely a theme. Yeah. I'm a narcissistic queen, but that's okay. I have a lot
I
of...
wouldn't say they're narcissistic. They know their value.
You're fucking right. But like, Chuck Bass, man, that character in general, my God,
That is
get it.
That is the exact opposite of what I
day.
find attractive.
See, I don't normally, like, if Ryan were to one day turn around and start acting like that, I think I'd punch him in the face. But like...
Well, that's because you fell in love with Ryan.
Yeah,
I mean...
But like, if he came up to me and said, I'm Chuck Bass, I would fucking melt. And I would literally just...
Also,
incinerate.
can we just get out of the way? The name Chuck Bass is the most unsexual, ridiculous name ever. Chuck and Bass.
Well, Charles Bass, but yeah.
He went by
He's
Chuck.
so hot.
There's nothing sexy about the name Chuck Bass.
No, but God, he's so hot.
Cannot relate.
He's so hot. Okay, who's your like TV like crush?
Oh my God, Tom Welling on Smallville.
Is that the one where he didn't have a belly button?
No, that was a freeform show. What was that called?
Wasn't Smallville on freeform?
No, it was a WB show. WB before it became the CW. Wait, was it CW at that point? It does not fucking matter. It came out in it came out in 2022.
Okay.
And all the posters were him. He was young Superman. Smallville was the town like that Clark Kent grew up in Kansas. And so it was about a young Clark Kent growing up.
Okay.
I like the Superman mythos, so it mattered to me. But I'm not gonna act like that's why I watched it. And all the posters for it were him, like he was like very very like savior metaphor. He was hung to like a scarecrow, shirtless.
Gotcha.
And he had like a kryptonite necklace around his neck and a big S painted on his chest. It ended up being like a high school prank that, just somehow mirrored Jesus and Superman. But it was him shirtless, and that was like all the promos.
Right.
And oh my God, he's so attractive. And he was supposed to be fucking 14. He was supposed to be 14.
Fair.
Ridiculous. But that was, I would say, for TV shows, that was it for me. And by the way, it is a trip to watch Smallville now because you know about the Allison Mack shit, right?
I have no idea who Allison Mack is.
Okay. Do you know about anything about Colt stuff? Like Colts?
I know very
like Colt
little.
stuff, like Colts. Like, Colts. So there is this cult called Nixium.
Okay.
Spelled in a really stupidly shitty way. And I'm not even gonna, it's like NXIVM or something, or just looks that way. There's a lot to it, but like baseline, it's a sex cult. Fully. So there's a main character on Smallville who was on for the entire 10 seasons.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it got 10 seasons?
It got 10 seasons.
Holy shit.
And it should have got 20. It was so good. What Supernatural got, that should have been Smallville. But I think too many of the actors were like, I want to like spread my wings and do movies. And
which is such a fucking dumbass thing. Like, if you have a TV show that is fucking beloved, just fucking keep raking in the money.
I know. I think there were probably a couple people on that show
Look
that were
at fucking Mariska Hargitay.
right. The people on Law and Order know where their bread is buttered.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She makes so much money.
Oh yeah,
So much money. I think it's
absolutely.
like $100,000 every fucking rerun.
Yeah, and the same thing with NYPD Blue when it was on. That's a huge pull from the early 2000s.
Yeah, I know.
But
my mom used to watch it, but also Bob Iger talked about it
oh really?
in his book. Yeah, because apparently it was, a little racy for the times. So he had a list of words he could and could not say and positions that they could and could not have to keep their rating lower.
It must have been on ABC then. I'm guessing.
I would imagine.
Yeah, if it was Disney, affiliated. But Allison Mack played like I said, a huge main character on Smallville. She wasn't in the comics, so it was like a side character, but she was a big deal on the show. Anyway, Homegirl decided to join this cult, and she became like second in command of it. Yeah, and this guy, the guy that ran it, Keith Rainier, if I'm saying his name right, who's in jail right now. I'm pretty sure he still is. He got a ton of celebrities, like C-list celebrities, to join this cult. Like girls from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. like he had celebrities involved in this cult, and I don't even remember what their fucking point was. It was like,
giving Scientology.
oh, big time. Oh no, this guy straight up. When you watch the documentaries on Nixium, and there's a really good one on HBO that came out from people that were in it. Because he hit up so many Hollywood people. These people are directors, documentarians, all this stuff. So they're like, let's make a documentary on documentary.
I wasn't going to say anything.
You should have. If I say something fucking stupid, say it.
Documentary.
On like what happened. So he stole from L. Ron Hubbard big time. He stole from a ton of stuff. And when you watch the documentary, it's like, how did this guy end up? Because he ended up getting heiresses that were worth like billions of dollars.
Oh my God.
And they got hundreds of millions funneled into this cult. Like he aimed high. And I think he marketed it as like being your best self.
Right.
Like selling yourself, achieving your dreams. Like that's where it started. But when you watch this guy, you're just like, he's not even good at it though.
Yeah.
He's not. Sometimes you'll watch stuff on cults and you're like, oh, I can totally see where this person like reeled people in. This guy looks like some loser from high school. He always wore like sweatbands like around his head. And it's just weird choices. Yeah. He was obsessed with volleyball.
Oh my God.
Like he would organize like midnight volleyball games that were mandatory. This is what's weird. Like why did everyone go along with this guy? It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
And he's just like not charming, not smart. It's like watching some guy who is like talking and saying the earth. And I've thought about this a lot. But the earth, it is round. And then like people, and then all these women around him going, oh my God, you're so right.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck am I missing?
Yeah.
And so this guy ran this huge sex cult, and they ended up, and Allison Mack became second in command. And he slept with all of these women in the cult because it was a sex cult.
Right.
And she was so obsessed with like being the favorite that she would like make them, and this was part of it too. He wanted women to be very thin and very childlike looking. So they were put on ridiculous diets. They were rated on 10 miles a day, all of this crap. And in the end, part of this was they would all be branded with initials that were a mix of Keith Rainier and Allison Mack. And they were all these women were like physically branded. As part of this cult. Gotta love cults, right? Cult stuff is so interesting to me. Anyway, these people are in jail now, by the way.
Good.
Including Allison Mack, I'm pretty sure. But the
That's
fact that
psychotic.
she was like famous. She was on this hit show for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then you don't hear about her for 10 years. And it's like, oh, P.S. She joined a sex cult where she like joined up people that were in Star Wars and branded them with her own initials. And like,
well, that seems to be like a thing because Pete Davidson has a brand for Kim.
okay, but is it a brand or a tattoo?
Branding.
What did he brand himself with? Like, what is that? What does it say?
Yeah, because he has a couple tattoos for her.
I feel like
But
he's got a
also
tattoo
branded.
for every girl. And by the way, good for him.
I love
because if
him.
he can nail Ariana Grande, Kate Beckinsale, Kaya Gerber, and now Kim Kardashian. Oh, I think I'm missing like 3 exceptionally beautiful women in here, and talented and successful.
Pete Davidson branded Kim Kardashian's name on his chest.
I mean, no, that's fucking weird.
But it's also kind of
If you say
hot
that
at the same time.
if you say this is romantic, I'm like, okay, if it was not Pete Davidson and he wasn't like who he is and who we all know he is and the kind of person he is, would we think this is sexy or appealing or romantic?
I think it depends. Like, so obviously, number one, you know this guy can fuck. Number two, I appreciate the fact that like he has the appearance and comes off the way that he does and has no problem striving for somebody like Kim Kardashian, because me looking the way that I do, which is completely fucking normal, would never even imagine.
Oh, I 100% think no one is interested in me at any point ever.
So I have so much like body issues and just self-esteem issues. Like
Are you a woman in America?
Yeah.
You hate yourself.
Exactly. And so I love that, but also he has like this like bad boy, but like really soft kind of bad boy.
Well,
He's got
she said
all
he's
these
like the
tattoos.
nicest guy ever.
Yeah, but he has all these tattoos, and like if you're really serious about somebody and you have tattoos, but you also have tattoos of like your other significant others in the past, like how do you kind of like level it up a little bit? And like that's kind of hot.
I don't think I'd want someone to level it up like that. But like I said, I think if it wasn't Pete Davidson, we'd all have a different outlook on it. It's like kind of like when you read the stuff at MGK. Is that
Yeah,
MGK
Machine
and
Gun Kelly.
yeah. And Megan Fox, and she said like the engagement ring. I don't honestly, I know she
Good for
says things
them.
for shock value. Oh, I love them. But I know she says things for shock value. But when she was talking about the engagement ring and how it's like created so it hurts if she takes it off, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, but that's
a bit much.
that's their brand.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, how real is that?
They also drink each other's blood. So
But that, you know what? No, that is like a dollar bin Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie started that I'm crazy in love shit back when she was with Billy Bob. And she would wear,
that's right.
They would wear the vials of blood. So
Ew.
they were walking the red carpet, and I think it was for Gone in 60 Seconds. And she was like chewing on his earlobe in the middle of like a red carpet interview.
And
sticking
him
her
of
hand
all
in his
people.
shirt. I don't get it, man. I
him
don't get
of
it.
all people.
And she was like sticking her hand in his shirt during this interview, and she would like look at the camera and be like, "Yeah, we fucked in the limo on the way here." And it was just like, why do I need to know that you fucked Billy Bob? And the thing is, it's Angelina Jolie, so she's probably right. Side note, she has my sun and moon sign.
She's so hot.
But I don't think I would. Clearly, we're not the same person, besides the fact that we have the same astrological signs. But I'm just like, wearing each other's blood around your neck? Like,
Yeah, that's a bit much.
she was the original, though.
But I also did say at the beginning of this podcast that I would be very happy just living inside of Brian's skin.
But here's the thing. I see the logic in that emotionally. Like, I have been very attached to people to the point where I'm just like, I can't get close enough. And so
Yeah.
you're just describing like how it feels to like feel like you can't get close enough.
Yeah.
It's not like you would actually like cut him open and like
no.
literally like Luke in the Tauntaun and like in Star Wars like crawl into him.
But if it were socially acceptable for me to sit on his foot and grab his leg and have him walk around all the time, yeah, I would do that. I would never leave.
Live your life, girl. Who's stopping you?
The general public. Could you imagine him going around Trader Joe's and I'm just like,
oh, honey, grab that.
yeah. Ooh, I can't reach that. Can you get that? Just around the aisles at Target.
But since we brought up the Kardashians,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on with them right now with their like massive aesthetic pivot? Because their aesthetic brand, their brand is big ass, tiny waist, big tits. Like they are the walking Jessica Rabbit. They're clearly surgically enhanced, despite what they say, because no one's hips are equal level with their belly button. That's not the human anatomy. We know you've had BBLs. We know you've had ab etching. Kylie Jenner, who says she got it from walking after giving birth.
Like,
What did she say recently? Not Kylie, but Kim. She basically said, like, if there was evidence that came out that, like, eating shit, like human shit would make you younger or more beautiful, she would probably do it. And I was like, girl, me too. People were hating on her for that. And I'm like, I agree. Beauty ideals are fucked. We're fed from youth. Like, I'm totally on board with all this stuff. I totally acknowledge eating disorders, bad body image, all of this stuff is because of society. At the same time, I would also eat the shit.
yeah. Did you see that picture? I'm so sorry. This is like a little old, but it literally just sits in my mind all day. That picture of Kendall Jenner in that micro thong.
Is it the one that Pierce, whatever his name was, that Piers Morgan was like, I don't know why the Kardashians even try when Kendall Jenner exists, which was really creepy because he's
disgusting.
like, I know. But is it that photo?
The one where like her torso literally goes like down this much longer until it's her vagine.
I mean, that's basically how she's built. Surgically enhanced.
Here,
I mean,
let me show it to you because I cannot like
also, you know that every single thing they post is Facetune, Photoshop, even the videos. Even the video. Okay.
Oh yes, but I still just like I understand.
Allegedly.
But this micro thong on Kendall Jenner just lives in my brain.
In the same way that I wish I could be them, at the same time, I'm just like, how exhausted are you from having to live your life every single second, giving 2,000% energy to making sure you don't do anything that disrupts this very fragile appearance that you have to keep. That is the photo. Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, she looks like a plastic Barbie doll.
That is like 1.5 feet between the middle of her nips.
I think honestly, I honestly think she edited out her lips. I don't think that she has any vaginal lips in that photo.
And like, I don't know, like, okay, have you been into the Kardashians for a really long time?
Yes.
Okay. So when Khloe was thicker, she went on like, she was like, cover the camel, cover the camel, because it's normal for people to have vaginal lips.
Wait, have you watched the newest, their newest series?
Yeah.
Where she's going in at Kim because Kim's skims don't have a wide enough area in the vagina area?
Yes.
I'm with Khloe.
Yeah, because they don't. I'm sorry.
I have no idea if mine would be considered wide or thin, but I'm a human woman and I would like more coverage if it's an option.
Yeah, but like, how do I get my vagina to be that small?
I mean, surgically. I mean, they can do it surgically.
But
I don't think
is it? Liposuction?
But I don't think that's what that is. I think that is literally editing, like photo editing.
Yeah, but still, like, I mean, with Khloe, like, she would have a camel toe. When I wear certain clothes, I have a camel toe.
Yeah, because you're an anatomical woman.
But like, how do you not like? What do you get? Liposuction?
Well, I think there's also like
Jacob, bye. It's okay. Sorry, we're getting a little too heated.
I think there's also like, is he honestly crying because we're getting heated? Oh my gosh,
we're getting excited.
That's really sweet. Hi, honey. I think there's also inserts they put in too, possibly in the front.
Where are they at? Let me know. Link in bio. Add that shit to my Amazon.
I also am imagining this. There's a lot of things in life that I'm like, oh, they must have figured this out by now, or there must be something they invented for this, and I realize, oh my God, no one has.
Share with the rest of us. I would love to know.
I honestly think it's just photo editing for them.
Because, like, my God, it must be nice. So, since we're on this topic, just going back slightly to our very minuscule, low stakes sort of thing that drives us fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. Fucking uncomfortable panties. And you said earlier, there's a difference between panties and underwear.
There is.
I don't care. None of them
also,
should be.
I'm going to acknowledge the many people in the world right now that are like so uncomfortable with the word panties.
Oh
I know
God.
you exist, but that's what they're called. They're called panties. We're going to say panties.
Yeah. Pantaloons, whatever. So I was telling Tara this, and I'm so sorry if this is TMI for anybody out there, but this is why we're here. I wore a cotton thong yesterday, and the back was just a little too thick, and it was cutting off my ass cheek circulation because it was too thick to fit in my ass crack.
Well, okay, that's an engineering issue. Like if you're gonna make a thong, make it a thong. What is the point of doing
Right.
like a quarter of like an underwear?
But then have you ever had
Hi, baby.
have you like so I pretty much just exclusively get my underwear from like Victoria's Secret and like Pink or whatever, unless there's like lingerie.
I didn't even know they were still in business.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I think I got good panties too. Anyways, but like unless it's like lingerie, then I go to like a lingerie store.
Yeah.
But oh yes, sorry. Like train of thought, literally just so they have these like seamless panties, right? That are supposed to be good for. He just showed me his nipples. These like seamless panties that are supposed to be good for like when you go to like yoga and stuff like that.
Okay.
The material they make them out of make my vagina like sweat so much more.
Wait, for a side note, and I digress, but why wouldn't you just buy yoga pants that have built-in underwear and then just not worry about it?
To be honest, that's what I think. But you know, for work, I was like, you know what? Let's try them out. They're supposed to be super great.
Mm-hmm.
They're not moisture wicking. They literally make you sweat more.
Ew.
And like, I'm sorry, no,
I don't want to feel like a beast.
no, it's disgusting.
Like, I mean, thongs are utility. Like, you don't want panty lines. But at the same time, you kind of want to feel sexy.
Yeah, and I don't like. There's nothing hot feeling, except for temperature wise, when you're sweating down there.
No.
It's disgusting. And
No.
it makes you feel ugly and gross.
Yeah, of course.
And like nobody fucking talks about that. Those underwear fucking suck.
I don't wear thongs.
Abomination.
I don't refuse. Like, if there's a situation where I have to, I will woman up and I will wear the thong.
Right.
Like, but it's, to me, I'm just like, give me like granny panties. Like, if there's like, if you have a pair of period panties that you wear when you're on your period,
Yeah.
I would love, I mean, I don't want them like stained, but like, I mean,
Yeah.
that kind of like granny panty look, I will wear those every day. I do not care.
Puff
If
off.
I love men's briefs. I just want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
I just want to be comfortable. That's it. Like, I don't like thongs. I get the utility. But if you're going to make a thong, engineer it right.
Yeah.
Just like you're saying, like, why was it so thick?
Yeah. Like why? Or it's like, again, talking about like when your vaginal lips are apparently huge compared to Kendall Jenner. When the thong doesn't reach all the way to like your groin, because
So then you have a front thong?
yeah, but when it's just like here and it doesn't go all the way over, like
Yeah.
because we walk around a lot at work,
Yeah.
I will chafe in the most bizarre fucking places.
Oh my God. I do all the time. It has nothing to do with my underwear.
Like in my groin, or my ass is so fat now that
Maybe it's muscle. We walk a lot.
regardless, it's got to go, or something's got to go, because right underneath my ass cheek and where my leg meet,
Oh, your thought.
sure, that starts to chafe after a couple hours of walking outside.
Yeah, your thought. Where your
But
thighs meet your butt.
there's nothing that can stop that.
Why don't you just get that Gold Bond like thigh chafing stick and just rub it right
I
there?
have it, and I'm afraid to use it because what if it makes it worse and I can't do anything about it?
I mean, like, what? I mean, at least try it.
Yeah, it's literally in my bag.
I say do it. I say try it.
Oh God, so stressful.
I mean, my problem is heat rashes. I have very vascular skin, which means whenever I have even a slightly embarrassing thought, my face is bright red.
Right.
If I walk for more than 5 minutes in the heat, the second I stop, my face turns. I mean, like concerning red. The point where like people will stop and like literally be like, "Are you
good?"
okay?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "I swear I'm okay. This is just like how I'm made." And the same thing so I have this thing called golfer's vasculitis, which is like a thing, and it happens in the summer when it's really hot and you're walking a lot.
Okay.
So the way it is that you have the heat coming from the sun that's hitting your legs. You also are walking on concrete all the time, or grass. That's why it's golfer's vasculitis. And the heat that the floor is absorbing is also radiating up at you. So it's like your leg is getting like double the heat.
Oh.
So you start breaking out in a heat rash, like starting at your ankles.
Right.
And depending how bad it is or how long you're outside or how much you're walking, it like works its way up to like your leg and everything. So when it's really hot and I've been walking on black concrete all day, I'll start breaking out in what looks like hives. And people will again be like, are you okay? And I'm like, there's nothing I can do to hide this. If I wear pants, it makes it worse because it's insulating the heat.
Yep.
So I just have to look like something is very wrong with me and have to deal with that. And it stinks. I almost wish it was an issue like yours because at least you can like wear clothes over that. I can't do anything about that. It stinks.
Gigabyte is okay.
He's like, I'm really upset. She's very passionate about thongs.
Oh, Gigabyte, go get it. All right. Well, I mean, I think it's a really good first episode.
I think it's a great place to end.
Hopefully y'all have enjoyed at least some part of it to keep coming back and staying around.
And
we said that we were going to be very honest.
Yeah, and thank you, Kim Kardashian, for widening the vagina area of your Skims, because apparently she did do that.
Yeah, but to be honest though, like her Skim shit is so good.
Oh, I'm gonna buy some.
Oh my god, everybody's talking about that bodysuit. That's my next.
Is it the
purchase.
jelly sheer one?
I don't know what the fuck it is, but whatever. I see so many things on TikTok about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
It looks so good on so many other people. It's probably not gonna look that good on me, but
no, I've seen her, all kinds of models on her website. It all looks fantastic.
It looks so good. Yeah, but like the transformation I see. Okay, so you said that your expectations for your Botox were realistic. Mm-hmm. I don't have realistic expectations.
I want to like Kim Kardashian, or I don't want it.
I fully anticipate me going to get Botox next week and walking out looking like Madison Beer.
Wait, are you getting it next week?
I'm going to, yeah. I'm going to book an appointment. Oh, yeah. I'm sold.
I love this.
And I want filler. So hopefully they can do 2 in 1. But like I fully want to walk in looking like myself and leave looking like Madison Beer.
Love it.
Nothing would make me happier.
Love it.
Same thing. If I don't like look like Kylie or Kim in Skims, I'm going to be severely disappointed. Unless it's like one of her like things that don't really have any sort of like
there's
hold
like
to it.
It's like it's just a robe.
Yeah. Although, you know, I will say, I'm so sorry. I know we were trying to wrap it up, but one more thing. Her new sleep collection where she shows all that under boob. That is so fucking unrealistic.
Oh no,
you know when you're gonna wake up, you're gonna have one titty out, if not both, and those shorts are gonna be up your fucking ass crack.
Oh girl, I would not need to wake up to have one titty out. I put those things on and my boobs would be out the bottom anyway.
Yeah, it would end here and then your nipples would be like
because I don't have implants. And it's fine if you do, but she's modeling them with implants. Like her tits are out of tension. Mine are not. They're not made for me. And you know what? To be honest, they're not made for anyone. It's that shirt is made strictly for aesthetics reasons. And I am so okay with things being made just for aesthetics.
Yeah.
I know what I'm buying. I know what it's for. I'm not going to think this is comfortable leisure wear.
I just want to be included.
I just want to be included.
I want it to work for me.
So next week we'll see if you got Botox, and if not, when and how it is, and if we've taken the plunge in any of Kim Kardashian's completely unrealistic products.
Oh,
to see how bad it makes us feel.
I will happily go spend money at Nordstrom next week to just try it on.
Oh, I'm an online shopper.
Oh, see,
but you're gonna get your products before I do, so we'll see what happens.
That's fair. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching the first episode of the Way Too Honest podcast. I'm Kristen.
I'm Tara.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.